92-year-old Tsai Ing-wen is one of the few remaining survivors of Taiwan's White Terror, a decades-long period of political repression and suppression by an authoritarian Kuomintang, or Chinese nationalist regime. Tsai told TaiwanPlus he was arrested twice for political offenses, suffering torture and other human rights abuses at the hands of his captors. When he was set to be released, the authorities added another 3 years to his sentence. Collectively, Tsai spent 13 years behind bars.
这路哦，无什么个人的感想，是安尼无个人的感想。在威权统治之下，人民的权利并无受保障，连生命财产都无受保障的情形之下，人民哪有什么感想？
When Taiwan moved toward democracy in the 1990s, Tsai banded together with fellow White Terror survivors to call for transitional justice. They demanded recognition of what they had been through and accountability for the wrongs committed by the previous government. Taiwan was long denied this process because the Kuomintang, or KMT, continued to hold the presidency or legislature for 30 years after martial law was lifted in 1987. But in 2016, a new president was inaugurated who promised to carry out transitional justice. 2 terms and 8 years since, Tsai Ing-wen and her Democratic Progressive Party-led government have made several steps toward that goal. The most substantial, setting up the Transitional Justice Commission, a temporary cabinet-level body tasked with investigating White Terror-era incidents. Tsai's government also unsealed classified archives, removed symbols of Taiwan's authoritarian past, and gave former political prisoners a clean slate.
受害者的罪名大概有5900多件被撤销了，那所以他们得到完整的这个清白之身哦，然后司法上面的记录被涂销，并且在这个前提之下，他们的这个受损的权利，包括说过去被没收的土地哦，不动产这个部分也是过去法律没有处理的，在这一次都把它处理完。
Despite its progress on this issue, Tsai Ing-wen's government has also received sharp criticism, especially for its decision to also go after the KMT's assets, many of which were taken illegitimately when the party arrived in Taiwan from China in the 1940s. It was seen as an unfair partisan attack. Tsai's government was also faulted for not adequately educating the public on the need for transitional justice.
On the one hand, it has institutionalized the efforts to pursue transitional justice. But on the other hand, it failed to make the public as a more deliberative forum to talk about this kind of issues in Taiwanese society.
For those like Tsai Ing-wen who suffered so much under martial law, the sting of those memories are now less painful in the comfort of their homes. But just outside, reminders of that period are still everywhere. Like the tens of thousands of statues of Taiwan's former president, Chiang Kai-shek, who many view as a brutal dictator. There's a huge memorial to him in Taipei, one of the city's most well-known landmarks, a sign of the challenges the DPP government has faced in ridding Taiwan of these markers.
那清楚威权象征阻力还是蛮大，这个阻力当然是国民党。那最大的一个问题就是中正纪念堂。
Survivors of the White Terror say that the most important part of transitional justice is making sure those in power do not repeat the mistakes of the past, and bringing peace to society. Their hope that the outgoing president's efforts over the last 8 years will not have been in vain, and that the fight for truth and justice in Taiwan continues even after Tsai Ing-wen leaves office. Patrick Chen, Yu-chen, and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.